When Western readers think of corruption, they may imagine bribery, offshore accounts, or politicians misusing public funds. Yet the scale of corruption inside China's military and political elite goes far beyond such familiar images. In October 2025, China's Ministry of Defense announced that 9 generals, including a vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, had been purged for corruption. China has only about 34 active generals of this rank, which means that more than a quarter of the country's top brass were removed in one stroke. For a military of 2 million soldiers, this was nothing less than an earthquake. The way the announcement was made was itself unusual. In past purges, state media such as Xinhua would lead the coverage, followed by the Ministry of Defense. This time, however, the Defense Ministry's website quietly posted the news late in the day, with Xinhua following only later. A video statement was even recorded by a ministry spokesman, his somber expression betraying little of the victory over corruption tone the party usually projects. The timing was also deliberate. The purge was revealed just before a major party meeting, ensuring that the expulsions would be formally ratified. The symbolism was clear. Corruption had penetrated the very core of the armed forces, and the leadership wanted to show it was acting decisively. The phrase, large sums of money, in official Chinese announcements is deliberately vague, but past cases reveal what it really means. When investigators raided the home of General Xu Taiho, they found over a ton of cash in his basement, along with gold statues and jade. The money was so vast that it had to be weighed rather than counted. Another general, Gu Junshan, who began his career as a street hustler, falsified his records and bribed his way upward. His corruption case was officially described as involving particularly huge sums. Later disclosures suggested that the total value of his assets reached around 30 billion yuan, roughly 5 billion USD, with at least 600 million yuan in direct bribes. This scale provides the reference point. When Chinese authorities say particularly huge, they mean corruption on the order of tens of billions. The imagery from these cases is staggering. Investigators described basements stacked with banknotes, villas filled with crates of Maltai liquor, and golden Mao statues weighing dozens of kilograms. In one case, cash was piled so high that it could not be inventoried in a single night. In another, a Mercedes sedan was reportedly stuffed with bars of gold and handed over as a gift. These are not the trappings of modern bureaucrats, but of medieval warlords, hoarding treasure as symbols of power. The corruption was not only financial, it also took the form of sexual bribery and exploitation. Xu Taiho was reported to have coerced young female recruits into sexual relationships, using his authority to demand obedience. Women were sometimes offered to senior officers as part of political or financial deals, turning human dignity into another currency of corruption. Sex for promotion exchanges became part of the hidden economy of power, where careers could be advanced not by merit or battlefield experience, but by submission to the personal desires of those at the top. This dimension of corruption reveals a deeper moral collapse. Power was exercised not only through money, but also through control over bodies and lives. The systemic nature of this rot becomes clear when examining the promotion system of the People's Liberation Army. Unlike professional militaries in the West, where combat experience and strategic competence are decisive, most Chinese generals have never fought a war. The last major conflict involving China was the brief border war with Vietnam in 1979. For decades since, the PLA has been a peacetime force. In such an environment, promotions depended less on battlefield merit and more on political loyalty, personal networks, and financial transactions. A division commander's promotion could cost millions of yuan. Zhu Kaiho reportedly judged candidates by who paid the most or who provided the most personal benefits. Some officers rose from lieutenant general to full general in just a year, bypassing regulations that required at least 4 years of service at the lower rank. The result was a hierarchy where competence mattered less than cash flow and submission, undermining the very idea of a professional military. The 2025 purge also revealed a geographic pattern. Many of the disgraced generals were tied to the Eastern Theater Command, the unit most directly responsible for operations against Taiwan. The Eastern Theater Command is the PLA's most powerful regional force, controlling a quarter of the Army, half of the Navy, and a third of the Air Force. Its headquarters in Nanjing oversees the 73rd Group Army, often described as the spearhead for a Taiwan invasion. That so many of the purged generals were linked to this command raises troubling questions about the integrity of China's war planning. If the very officers entrusted with preparing for a potential conflict were simultaneously enriching themselves through bribes and sexual exploitation, what does that say about the military's readiness? The political implications are equally significant. Xi Jinping has made anti-corruption campaigns a hallmark of his rule, presenting them as efforts to purify the party and strengthen the military. Yet the sheer scale of the scandal suggests that corruption is not an aberration, but a structural feature of the system. The party's monopoly on power, combined with the secrecy of military institutions, creates an environment where oversight is minimal and accountability is absent. Promotions are controlled by political commissars, who themselves are often implicated in corruption. The result is a closed loop. The system monitors itself, and those at the top are free to exploit it until a political decision is made to bring them down. For Western readers, the significance of these revelations is twofold. First, they highlight the fragility of China's military power. A force riddled with corruption where generals buy their ranks and exploit subordinates cannot be trusted to perform effectively in combat. The image of tons of cash hidden in basements, golden statues stacked in villas, and young women coerced into sexual exploitation is not just about personal greed. It is about a military whose chain of command is corroded by vice. Second, the scandals reveal the systemic nature of corruption in authoritarian systems. In the absence of transparency and independent oversight, power becomes its own justification, and corruption becomes a survival mechanism. The purge of 9 generals may demonstrate Xi Jinping's control, but it also underscores the depth of the rot he's trying to contain. Behind the facade of discipline and strength lies a fragile institution corroded by greed, secrecy, and abuse of both wealth and human dignity. The story of China's military corruption is not just about individuals like Zhu Kaiho and Gu Zhanshan. It is about a system that rewards loyalty over competence, secrecy over accountability, and exploitation over integrity. For those outside China, it is a reminder that authoritarian power often projects an image of unity and strength, while beneath the surface, it is hollowed out by corruption on a scale that defies comprehension.